What it do? We are back again. The long anticipated, much awaited, much debated
Facts.
return of the boys. You heard me?
Hey, yeah, I appreciate you holding it down, man. I had a lot of things going on. Had to handle business, but I'm back now. We ain't never left.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the homie Jordani, holding it down with the NBA talk. Um, we also dropping a song with him, me and Quincy. So definitely look out for that.
Yeah, I heard
Um,
the preview of that. Sounds fire.
Yeah, man, I'm excited about the song. I had a good talk with him on the pod last time. We were talking about that Pacers Thunder series. I think it was after Game 2, possibly. Um,
Yeah.
but today we talking on Monday, June 23rd, the day after Game 7. Thunder, NBA champions. Congrats. They had hell of a season.
It
Um,
was, man. Shout out to Shy, bro. Like that's record breaking. MVP, Conference MVP, Finals MVP, scoring title, championship. He's the first to ever do that, right?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's like a kind of like a curse type thing where it's like when you get league MVP, you're not gonna get the title. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like just certain things like that. But he actually, like you said, put together a season that's like historical. The youth on that team is historical as far as the context of the NBA. They're just the second youngest team ever to win. Pretty
yeah,
much the first youngest team in like the real modern era, which is anything after the '80s, to me at least. And you know that it was led by their defense, man. You saw it on display in that Game 7 when Indiana was going on their runs. The defense from OKC was really what held it down
yeah.
because the turnovers they was getting, the points off of turnovers. I mean, the stifling that they was doing on defense, not letting nobody from the Pacers get anything going as far as any offensive sets. It was insane, bro. I will say I definitely could have seen it going the other way if Tyrese Haliburton didn't get hurt,
I
dog.
was just about to ask you that. I was just about to ask you that. Without Tyrese Halliburton, without that injury, do you think they would have succeeded the way they did?
Bro, he started out the game 3 of 4 from the 3 point line in the same exact spot. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like he pretty much shot it in the same exact spot. A couple of uncontested ones, then a contested one, and you just watch him and you're like, bro, if he's rolling like that, where they gotta respect the three, he's gonna have his way with this game. Because if you're
Easily. Yep.
opening up the game from the three that early and you're not even a 3 point shooter, and now you're putting that in their mind, like, oh, this dude is hitting shots early. Bro, he had 9 points before he got injured, dog. Like,
Yeah.
he only played about 7 minutes of the first, dog. Like I think like 6:55 or something, or
Yeah.
7:05, something like that, man. But it was like, dog, you can't help but think, and I always think about it also with the other team. I wonder if in their back of their mind they're like, man, did we really have won that? You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
it's like,
For real. Oh, they have to think about that.
dog, he was rolling,
And
man.
no matter what, like I said, in the chat, I don't respect his name in the chat, but I will respect him as a player. Like, and the way he plays, it's not like he pulls stuff out of his ass and just does crazy. He just does what he does consistently, and they just can't stop it. And that shows how great of a player he is. He sticks to his game, and he knows it's gonna work for him, and he does that, and it just is crazy how it works out.
And the thing people I feel like miss on the analyst level is Tyrese Halliburton does not care about stats at all.
At all.
He's literally catching the flow of the game and playing how he believes is the best basketball that they can play. And for you to
Yeah.
really coach your team on the floor like that and be that effective and be effective where you're needed, it's insane. One and two, bro. I don't know if you heard Obi Toppin after the game. He was like, bro, like I feel like our soul was crushed. Like we lost our captain, our
Yeah.
leader. Like
Yeah.
he was like, I'm not gonna speak for everybody, but for me, it definitely affected me, and I feel like I let everybody down because of it. Like, bro, he was so affected with just losing
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton that like he wasn't even effective in the game when he was such a big part of it. And man, that was not how I wanted to see that game go down, man. It kind of deflated the whole game for me.
Yeah.
Um,
And they,
Haliburton.
they broke the Pascal Siakam voodoo
Bro,
curse.
you seen that? Bro, it's funny that clip is so hilarious. He was probably in his mind, he was probably like, "Bro, I'm so tired, dog."
For real.
You know what I mean? And yo, they were just saying
But
all
I
the
saw a
crazy
clip
stuff,
that he was on the most like pivotal sides of
all the
winning
injuries, bro.
all the injuries, and it's like for him to be there and all that, and then see that meme of him rolling his eyes back, it's just everything, just all the pieces fall into play, and it's like, damn, is he really out there putting voodoo on these games?
Yo, yeah, and Siakam got a pretty crazy story, and he's just like such an effective player, and he hasn't bounced around at all. But he, like you said, bro, he's been on a couple teams that have done some things, and he's been at the scene
Yeah.
of some pretty crazy events. And man, for him to get to that game 7 and see his guy go down, like the last time that happened, yo, and remember in the chat, bro, I said that's the same thing that happened to KD. Like I knew
Oh yeah,
immediately what it was, bro. And the last time that happened, Pascal Siakam was on the winning
was there?
side of it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He benefited. It was one of those things where it was like, all right, their best player goes down. Now we have a chance. Like now this is ours for
Yep.
the taking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This
wasn't he there
time,
with the Kawhi Leonard too?
what? No,
The
he
Kawhi
was.
Leonard injury.
He wasn't at the Kawhi one, because that was Spurs and Warriors.
Oh, Spurs and Warriors.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but he was at that KD one on the other side of it, literally in the almost the same position, but now this time he was on the losing side of it. So that has to be crazy, bro. Like he's
Yep.
seen two of the best playoff performers go down with one of the most devastating injuries you could see, and he was on the court both times, bro.
Yeah.
Insanity, dog. He was there for the Clay one too, like dog.
Yeah,
He's
he was
been
there for
part
the
of some
Clay one.
wars, bro. He's played some like big time basketball. You know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
being such a low key player that like the casual fan doesn't
That's what
know.
I was gonna say. He's such a low key player too, man.
And he'll give you a smooth 20 every night, bro. That ain't easy, dog.
Mm-hmm.
To average 20 in the NBA, it ain't nothing to scoff at. Especially when you're not like the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's tough.
But he
bro.
makes like those big like momentum changing plays that just amplifies the team to want to play better and be better. Like it shifts the whole momentum of the entire game, the type of plays that he make.
Yes,
and that matters more than scoring 40 a night.
Yeah, Siakam is super skilled, and I almost feel like it's also like he's like the perfect size, also like for the
Yeah.
NBA. Like, it's like the perfect amount of stretch.
Yeah.
You know, the perfect
He's
amount.
long, yo.
Hey yo, like and he's just like I say, he's effective, bro. And man, it was just tough seeing Indiana go out like that. Like in the beginning, I predicted it would go 6 or 7, but OKC
Yeah.
would pull it out. Honestly, bro, I feel like I lucked out on my prediction. Like I don't feel like dang, I predicted that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like nah, bro, that wasn't supposed to go that way, dog.
Nah, it was a great series. He was 2 assists away from winning me $400 on Hard Rock, so kind of upset about that. But I think this was one of the great playoff postseasons in a minute. Like everything has their like limelight and the fire, but I think this one, every series leading up from the very first series up until the finals, I think it was just great moments, and a lot of it was the Pacers and Haliburton.
Bro, and the crazy thing is so many good players went down in this playoffs
Yeah.
that aren't going to be available all of next year. Like, one of the first things I put in the chat, too, was, like, the Magic got to be salivating right now because Boston lost Tatum and
Yep.
Indiana lost Haliburton. They just picked up Desmond Bain, and they feel like they was already kind of there with their squad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, adding Desmond Bain to that squad with a wide open Eastern Conference, bro, they got to be like, bro, we got to hit it hard this summer because,
Yeah.
and they got, again, back to the size thing, yo, Paolo Banchero, dog, perfect size to play
Oh, yeah.
in the playoffs
Compete.
and in an NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he is built for a playoff run, dog. So, man, look out for the Magic, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic get their first title next year, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Pablo because he reminds me of like Brunson, but he has a size where they can't push him around.
Facts.
That's what Brunson doesn't have. He's not that big of a guy, so everybody just bullies him and pushes him around, and he takes a lot of hits, and that sucks because that's a lot of wear and tear that gets him more tired. But Pablo, you can't do that to him.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the Knicks, I would like to see them try to make a move with Towns, bro.
I was hoping for KD. I'm not gonna lie. I would have gave up Towns for
Yeah,
KD.
that would have been a good one for y'all. That would have been a because it's like, bro, that's I believe in Brunson, but at his size, he needs somebody to help,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Cat is not it, bro. Cat is
Hey,
not
bro,
it.
he don't play. He doesn't play any defense. He doesn't big body anybody on
He's
defense. On
still
offense, I get it, but not defense.
still doing the stupidest fouls you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it's
Like,
so
bro, how are
ridiculous.
you this high level of a player and fouling like that, bro? Like, you too good to be that careless on defense, dog. It's insane,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
yeah,
what are you doing, bro? It don't
yeah.
even make sense, dog.
But I think this series, especially going to Game 7, we love everything going to Game 7. It capped it off to a great NBA season, I think.
Nah, they definitely and y'all. I feel like y'all overperformed. Like, honestly, like I didn't expect much
Let's
from
see,
the
Ray.
Knicks because of Cat. You know what I'm saying? My thing is like, I just don't believe him. I don't believe in him in a long playoff push, bro. Like, I've seen too much basketball of his to be bamboozled into thinking that he's gonna
Yeah,
carry a team in any way, shape, or fashion, dog. It's just I already know it's not gonna happen.
yeah. Yeah, and like we mentioned, what do you think about KD to the Rockets? You think that's a big move, or you think that's a chance?
I like that with the coaching and the squad that they kept. All they lost basically was Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks,
Dylan Brooks, yeah,
which are two knuckleheads, bro. Like, but two
yeah,
very different reasons. Dylan Brooks because of the antics on the court, and Jalen Green just because he hasn't matured as quickly as they would want him to. You know what I mean? Like, he was just real, like, out of place in the series they lost in the playoffs. But it was like, bruh, you not disciplined enough to get to your game how
yeah,
you supposed to because you're just still immature out there. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like the wall that Anthony Edwards hit this year, where it was like, when they're double teaming you that way and you don't know how to answer, he did the same thing. He hit that wall like that. It's like, oh, I'm a star. How do I take it to the next level? And they said that he's been in conversation slash kind of training with Jordan this offseason to specifically work on the post work and how to handle the double team. Like,
mm.
supposedly Anthony Edwards hit up Jordan specifically like, yo, I need help like with these
His
double teams.
illegitimate dad.
Crazy, right? Yo, it's insane, bro. How like
Talk about that.
the little fake backstories they got for it, like, and they
Yeah.
all make sense, bro.
Hmm.
It's funny as hell.
Imagine though. No, but like I said, I am happy with the NBA season how it ended. I'm happy for the Thunder. I feel bad for Haliburton. Of course, I feel bad for my Knicks, but I'm satisfied with the season they put together this year. It was very entertaining. It was easy to watch. Sometimes after my team loses, I don't watch anything else after that. But I kept watching the rest of the series.
Nah, man. I honestly feel like we watched some historical basketball this season in the context
Yeah,
of the grand scope of the NBA. Like, we're not gonna see quality first round to finals basketball like that.
yeah,
I don't feel like we're gonna see that in a while. Like, just consistently through the whole playoffs, bro. I feel like the playoffs and the finals have been like 6 months, dog.
yep,
Usually I just check out until like the Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals, like lately.
yep.
You know, not before, but lately it just hasn't
Yeah,
been
yeah,
that
same.
good. So it's like I don't even check in like that. But this year it's been like you have to check in and you have to be on point watching everything.
Yep.
And bro, like you said, bro, it was a great season. I'm excited for next season for real. So, bro, Fat Joe and Jadakiss got that new podcast, man. I've been seeing the clips. I
Yeah.
haven't really peeped the podcast yet. I'm not gonna lie, but I did follow the page and like I'm tapped into the clips.
Hmm.
Their latest
It's
guest,
good. I've been watching. It's good.
yeah. I got to check out a full episode so I can give my like thoughts on it. But I've enjoyed the clips for sure. I like how both of them are acting exactly like how I would imagine both of them would act. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised either way, but they're still like talking about stuff that I want to, that's interesting.
Hmm.
Recently, they had Jim Jones on, bro, and Jim Jones has kind of been ever since the versus topic has come up. Jim Jones has kind of been on this kick where like he feels like he's underrated, like as far as artists go, especially in like artists and rappers in general, but in New York especially. Like,
Yeah.
he's been on this kick where he like thinks he's like top notch, like upper echelon. You know what I mean? And it's like I agree with him to a certain extent that he's underrated. Like, I was a big Jim Jones fan growing up. Like,
Hmm.
the albums that he dropped like during that Dipset heyday, they were kind of like sleepers, but like they were almost like the better put together albums a lot of the time, and they have more replay value now a lot of the time. You know, they were like stories actually. You know what I'm saying? Like he was, man. Let me pull back this comparison that I was about to say because it was gonna sound insane. He has a kind of poetic style that kind of goes unnoticed because of his antics.
Yeah.
But if you really peep his music, it's very thoughtful and very poetic, especially those first couple of albums. So I do give him that he's underrated. Now, you're not that underrated, bro. Like, you're not top 10 or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just in my opinion. So, like, his new kick that he kind of kicked off on the Jim Jones and Nas, the Jim Jones and Jadakiss podcast, and then he took it
Fat
to
Joe and Jadakiss.
Fat Joe and Jadakiss, my bad. And then he took it to the Club Shay Shay with Chad Johnson. Is now he's like basically trying to compare it to Nas. Like he's specifically saying Nas, like
Yeah,
I got more hits than Nas. I'm more relevant than Nas. One of the things he said was like, my son don't know any Nas songs. Like, all right, bro. Like, I get what you're saying. Nas was never a hits guy. Like, if you're trying to talk about hits, like as far as like banging in the club and stuff, yeah, you probably was in the club more than Nas. I don't even doubt that at all. You know what I'm saying? But dog, we're not gonna sit here and pretend like you really got more hits and you're more relevant than Nas. Like you're insane, bro. Like
no, and Nas was an MC. That's the difference. I think Jim Jones was a great rapper, and that's one of the conversations that Fat Joe and Jada had. The difference between a great MC and a great rapper, or just the difference in MCs and rappers in general. There's two different things. An MC is somebody who can hype the people up, hype the club up. That is like if you're a DJ and you're an MC as well, that means you're like orchestrating all the events, you're on the mic, you're getting the energy up. And if you're a rapper, you're just a straight up rapper and you're just spitting bars. And that's one of the conversations I had. And I think Jim Jones took the angle because the internet says it too.
Yeah.
You know, the internet says that Nas never made hits. So I think he took that angle that he has more hits than Nas, so he can compare himself to be a better rapper than Nas or a better artist than Nas, when that's not the case. You can't just pick an angle that the public says because you think they're going to agree with you. Nas is an amazing rapper, and he's an amazing MC.
Yeah, you can't check one of 10 boxes and then say, I'm the best. Like, bro, you checked one box. Like, I'll give you that one box, hey, yo.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say you a better rapper than Nas just because you make better club records, dog. Like, it's two completely different things, man. But it's just funny, man. Like, and he's like one of those guys that I'm a fan of. And honestly, I put him in the same category as like Game. It's like two guys that I felt like made great music, but their antics always they overshadow themselves with their antics, bro. Like, if y'all just was on some grown man stuff and let y'all music speak and moved a little better, people will give you the respect that you want, dog. But it's like you're in the headlines for the wrong reasons all the time, man.
Bro, and not only that, it's just like you have to evolve as a person as well. Like, bro, I don't know why, but I watched the BET Awards this year. Sometimes I just watch award shows.
It had a lot of hype to it, for sure.
It did, but he came out there and he did ballin' because they did like a 106 in Park little tribute thing. And he was there with his usual outfits and all his bling, and then he had a pant leg rolled up, and I'm like, bruh, like, how you still rolling your pant leg up in 2025, my boy? Yeah. Like, just go out there and do your thing.
It's so funny because he splits the line right down the middle, because it's like there's the side that's like, bro, grow up, and then there's the side that is like pretending like being hood your whole life is cool. So
that
like,
is what I'm talking
he
about.
always keeps that crowd. Like, people be like, oh, nah, Jim's just gangster. This isn't that. Like, bro, it ain't cool to not elevate and evolve and calm down after a certain point, bro.
Especially if your fan base has done that, because we're, you know what I'm saying, we're older generation. He's not making music now for the youngins. If you had us then, we're growing up too.
He thinks he is.
Oh, he thinks he is. He thinks he is. But like, we're growing up too. Grow up with us, and we're still gonna enjoy your music. Yeah, and that's what I didn't like about the whole thing.
Yeah, if he took that more like maturing with the music type vibe, like I would peep him like in concert. You know what I'm saying? Like if he
Yeah.
was at the Hard Rock or somewhere like that, I would peep him because, like I said, I
Yep.
was a fan of his catalog growing up. But it's like, man, sometimes certain rappers, bro, they just push themselves out of your rotation just because of all the dumb stuff they saying in interviews, and
Easier. Yeah.
it's corny, bro. Yo, another thing that's been disappointing is, which was honestly I expected it, but that Carter 6 album, bro. Everybody thought they
Oh
was
man,
about to
I don't
hear
even
it.
want to talk about that, bro.
Yeah, man, that was some.
Honestly, I am, like I said, I'm one of the biggest. Lil Wayne is still probably in my top 5, if not number 6. And I listened to that the day it came out on the way to my workout, and I was like, this is gonna hype me up. Like, this is gonna get me ready for my workout. And on the ride, I'm just listening. I'm like, what am I listening to? Like, there was no path, there was no like setup, structure, or anything. It felt like it was just something that he said, "What's hot now?" You know what I compared it to? I said he thought, what were my best features that made it big, and then let me make a song that sounds just like that.
Yeah.
And that's not a Lil Wayne album to me.
So there was like a little kick / movement on TikTok once the album dropped, where people were taking the acapellas and reproducing the records, because a lot of the complaints were with the production, like the beats specifically. And I'm not gonna say it made it good, but I heard a lot of people that put it over better production, and it was like the joints were cooler. It was something that you could have probably listened to one way through and said, yo, the album wasn't bad, but you probably wouldn't have gone back to it. So I will say the production didn't do him any justice. And another thing I'll say is, like, bro, all them people that was talking about Wayne was robbed at the Super Bowl and all this stuff, bro, like, this is why.
Yeah,
This is
that
why
wasn't a
right
good
here.
defense, man. And that's his, and his energy is just completely different. I don't know if because he's sober now, because he says he's sober, but he's still rapping about lean and weed all the time. But his like that Wayne energy, like once you hear Wayne on, you hear that lighter flicker, and he just comes, he just throws down on the beat. I did not feel that in this album. And there were some good bars. There were some bars I was like, okay, there's that Wayne, but the energy behind it was not there, and that's why I was let down personally as a fan.
People that are the type of artists that Lil Wayne fans want him to be are like, working out, staying in shape, because touring like that and having those obligations, you can't be going, you got to be on point. And it's like, bro, for y'all to, like, it's one thing to imagine him in your head one way, but it's like, y'all see him, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know he ain't on the level of, like, what these, what Drake is doing, what Kendrick is doing, what, even somebody like Meg Thee Stallion or something, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't even on that level right now. Like, it's he out of that era, like, as far as him as an artist. You can respect his catalog and what he's done for hip hop, and also understand that he fell off. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Patrick Ewing was on the Magic. He was like 45, bro. Like, we knew he wasn't gonna do nothing on the Magic. Like, that don't change what he, how dominant he was in his heyday, but he wasn't doing nothing when he was on the Magic.
And that's why, like, I'm glad you made that point, because that's the first thing I thought. I ran through the whole album and I was like, bro, I feel like I would have felt this after his Super Bowl performance. If this is what he came out like at the Super Bowl and gave this type of performance, I was like, I would have been like, damn, I was wrong.
Yeah, I feel like we would have been disappointed, bro, for sure. It's definitely some weirdo vibes that he be on, and it's another one of those things. It's like, you wish it was different. Like, I always mention it, dog, but like, I was a Lil Wayne fan when people thought it was weird. Like, when people wasn't really like, because we from Florida, so we heard that New Orleans sound, you know what I mean? So we already was exposed to that. So it's like, Lil Wayne, when he was young, I was already on to Lil Wayne and thought he was dope. Like, shout out to my boy Jeremy. Like, when we started going to university, dog, like, we was damn near the only ones in high school, like, freshman year, that was listening to Lil Wayne. Like, people was like, what are y'all listening to? He's whack. I'm like, bro, you're insane. He's killing it.
Yeah.
Then right there, he dropped Get Something. And that was like the single that was supposed to be on the Carter 1, but it didn't end up being on Carter 1. And then it was just like a loose song before he started dropping the singles for Carter 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like Bring It Back. You know what I'm saying? Carter 1 is the one that people say Carter 2 is the better one, but just maybe
Yeah.
the era, or I don't know, just my taste, I don't know, dog, but Carter 1 for me, dog, from Walk In,
Yeah.
from This Is the Carter Now, Welcome. Oh my God, bro.
Mm-hmm.
He went insane on that album,
Yeah.
dog. Like Carter 1 is the one for me. 2 was fire, 3 was fire. By 4 it was like it's cool, but you know what I'm saying? Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
But when Lil Wayne was on, he was on, dog. All props
Yeah.
to him. But he's off
And
right now.
the funny thing is 4 has done the best in all of them.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And
As
5
far as
wasn't bad
numbers
either.
wise.
5 got
Yeah.
got a couple joints I still listen to. He got a joint with
Yeah.
Ashanti on there. That's dope. He got a joint with Travis Scott on there. That's dope. He got like a solo joint that's pretty dope. That's called God Took His Time. Like God took his
Yeah.
time when he made
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That song's
Remember
pretty
that
dope.
one.
But yeah, man. Now, album that we haven't heard yet, but I haven't heard yet, but sounding good is that Clipse album, dog.
Yeah. And you see, and that goes back to the Jim Jones point I wanted to make. The Clips are evolving.
Facts.
They're evolving, they're maturing, and they're still rapping, but you can hear it in their raps. It's like a different kind of rap, a different kind of look,
Yep.
a different kind of just like vision they're putting together, which you can still see the original Clips in it, but now they're like, you see them at a different status. And because you love the Clips so much and they're still spitting their bars, you feel it. It's the evolvement. Like we're all evolving, evolve too as an artist, and that's why we feel that. And that's why I think the Clips are going to hit in this album.
Yeah, facts, man. I definitely like the snippets. I like the way it's sounding. I'm excited to hear it. I'm excited with the rollout. I like kind of how they're doing it. It's like a big deal. I don't know if it was unintentional or what, but that whole leaving Def Jam thing, like as like kind of like the announcement that their album was coming, that was, I don't know, it was like almost too perfect. Like how like it burst on the scene, like Clipse buy their way out of the Def Jam deal because Def Jam didn't want to clear a song that had a Drake reference in it, and then
Yep.
it's like that happens, and then it's like, oh, what Drake song? What song that has Drake reference on it? And it's a song off their new album. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like a Kendrick feature that's on there. So it's like, bruh, it's perfect promo. To me, there's no way that it wasn't on purpose, but I'm excited nonetheless. I like how the Clips are kind of like, and shout out to, I think Charlemagne was the one that said it. He was saying that Clips are old school. Like they wait for albums to address things. You know what I mean? Like that was like the etiquette back in the day. Like you're not just gonna go out and talk about somebody. Like when you're on your album circuit, that's when you get stuff off your chest. You know. So I do like that vibe of it, where like people are like, oh, they're trying to say stuff to like get hype, but it's like, nah, they're going around getting interviewed. People asking them questions. They grown men, especially Pusha T. He's saying everything straight up. He's saying how he feel about Travis Scott. He don't like how he played the Drake song without the Drake feature for him.
Yep.
And then like, how you gonna pull up to Me and My Guy spot, not play the feature of the person that dissed us on it, and then when you leave, you got the whole version. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Not only that, he also that's what a lot of people say about Travis. When Travis was at that festival or that show, and he said he was asking him to play that the original Kendrick diss on the Future song.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, play it. And he's like, you can't be switching sides like that.
Nah, facts. 'Cause he was heavy in the Drake camp before that. Heavy. He was so hype when he got them verses from Drake for Astro World, dog.
Yep.
Or the verse. I don't know if it was more than one, but I think it was one. But when he got that Drake feature, he was out of this world ecstatic, dog.
Yeah.
So I definitely.
That's one of the biggest songs on this album, bro. And then now you're gonna tell him to play his diss track at the show? Come on.
And then, he was talking about Kanye, how he didn't like working with him, and just being honest about it. Basically, like drawing the line in the sand, like he don't rock with him right now, and he don't think it's something that he's gonna like want to revisit or whatever. But man, it's just been an interesting rollout, and I'm excited to hear that album for sure, dog.
Yeah, I'm ready for that, especially No Malice. I it's crazy, like, cause he's not the first artist to go religious and then come back to rapping, because Mace did it too. But as long as they keep the same flow and they
but
still
I will
can
say
rap.
he kept the same energy though, because when he left rap, he was talking about, I'm not about to be in a certain lifestyle and writing about certain things, right?
Yeah.
So when he came back and got on that Kanye album, that was the gospel album.
Yep.
So that was the first time he came back since he said he wasn't coming back. So that made a lot of sense. Then you fast forward to now, they're in a different situation album wise, and perception for me on the outside looking in, these people that used to have their hands in things like these dastardly hip hop people are gone. So he probably feels like, oh, now we're free and clear to really just make music.
A little safer.
You know what I'm saying? It's a safe environment. We're not pressured to do it a certain way. My brother's gonna do him, I'm gonna do me. And he's still spitting, bro. So like I definitely respect it, because I don't feel like he ever really said he was never gonna rap. I don't think he actually said that. I think he was just like, I'm not gonna do certain things. You know what I'm saying? He was very like kind of like read between the lines, but it definitely seemed like he just wasn't gonna play that industry game. You know what I mean? But he got that quote that I'll read it, but then you can expand on it. Speaking about Pusha T, talking about Kanye West, he goes, he being Kanye, he knows I don't think he's a man. He knows it, and that's why we can't build with each other no more. That's why me and him don't click, because he knows what I really, really think of him. He showed me the weakest sides of him, and he knows how I think of weak people. And it was definitely one of those things where I respected it, because Kanye be on some stuff, and a lot of people kind of, going back to Jim Jones, bro. Jim Jones kind of went to Kanye once everybody else was running away from Kanye, and Kanye didn't really have much people to reach out to. That's when he reached out to Jim. Jim should have been like, nah, bro, I'm not about to come now that you talking about Nazi stuff and you over here King Hitler and stuff. But that's when Jim went over there. You know what I'm saying? That's when Pusha T left, and that's when Jim went. And to me, bro, it's like, that's all I need to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's all I need to know about you. And we talk about it. We talk about it a lot. We talk about what's the meaning behind the show. The theme of Grounded is being 100% real. And if you know that the person you're talking to knows what you think about them, you cannot be fake. And you don't even have to explain yourself.
Facts.
So there's no reason to be around each other and talk to each other. Like, if you know what I think of people who do stuff like you do, you think we're cool right now?
Facts.
I don't have to play it off like we're cool. I'm definitely not. And I definitely don't have to tell you that I don't like it. Mm-hmm. You should automatically know. And that's what I appreciate about Pusha T's quote. He says, Kanye knows what I think about people like him. So there's no reason I could be in front of him and fake it. There's no reason I could be in front of him, have to explain it. I'm just not going to be around him.
Yeah.
That is the number one thing we try to explain on this show.
I'm going to be very vague about this on purpose, and you gonna peep what I'm talking about, but I just want to keep it super vague, because I don't want anybody feel like I'm talking about them, right? Or if at least if they know that I'm talking about them, they know I'm not like outing them in any way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there was like something I heard of like somebody basically saying like, I don't like coming around when I know I'm not on point. You know what I'm saying? They was like, if I know that I'm not gonna be on point, or like I'm slacking in certain areas, I don't like coming around, because I know y'all be on point. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like people to know they can't be on bullshit around me, dog. Like, I love it, bro. I love that people don't invite me to certain stuff because they already know I'm not with the bullshit. I love when people don't mention stuff to me because they already know I'm not with the bullshit. Like, I love that, bro. And it goes to like what you were saying, bro. Like, it's just the point of the show, staying grounded, being solid, bro. Like, that's always gonna take you far.
Yeah, that's always gonna be a self-explanatory thing. That is never gonna come to somebody say, "Oh, I didn't know you had a problem with that." Nah, everybody knows what I have a problem with. Everybody knows what you have a problem with, and we don't want those problems around us. It's that simple.
Yep. Yeah, I've said it before, bro, but we'll kind of leave them with this. If you stay solid all the time, you don't ever got to keep your story straight.
That's it.
Stay butter.
Butter.